Hello everyone, this is Hugh from QLC. I hope you're well. I'm going to make a quick apology for not putting out the video or a video yesterday or the day before as I promised, but things got in the way, I got delayed, and I really want my opinions on communism video to be, well researched and well thought out and well spoken, so, I want to get that right. But since you guys do deserve a video, I'm going to make a quick video about the breaking news regarding the tier system. Now, funnily enough, I presume that London would be in tier 1, just like it was last time, but it's not. If you want to know which city is in which tier, then I put a link in the description below so that you guys can find out for yourselves. I'm not going to read out every city and every tier, that will take too long. What's important to understand is that we're going to have these tiers. Tier 1, obviously, you can have a rule of 6 indoors and outdoors. And also pubs and restaurants can open up until 11 p.m. and you can drink as much as you like, allegedly. But in tier 2, you can only have a rule of 6 outdoors, and and pubs can only open if they serve alcohol with a substantial meal. Now, I'm a little bit confused because what first of all, they don't really come up with what a substantial meal is according to them. And B, does this mean you can only have 1 drink, 2 drinks, 3 drinks? Can you have as many drinks as you like with 1 meal? Or can you just have 1 drink with 1 meal and then get out? What are the rules? And then with tier 3, it's slightly different. With tier 3, basically gyms and cinemas are closed, and that's all I'm going to talk about. The rest is going to be in the articles in the description. But I really wanted to talk more about my thoughts on it. See, with the tier system, it's all going to be well and dandy. You're going to have these rules put in place, and every day we're going to have to follow these rules. But you're going to have the 5-day break near Christmas time where the rules will be loosened. You'll have people in these household bubbles. If families have like 2 kids, both kids can go, and join the main family in the main family home or whatever. But if a family has like 3 or more children, you can't have every single relative in your house. The rules are a bit suspect in my opinion. And also you have to look at the fact that we're supposed to be following these rules. We're supposed to go out at a certain time and leave the pubs and restaurants at a certain time, depending on where you are. In some places in the United Kingdom, the alcohol won't even be served, so I feel bad for people living there. That's going to be horrible. If you drink, that is. But you also have to take into account the fact that, let's say if you're living in tier 1 or tier 2, pubs and restaurants will open until 11. That's fine. At least people working in the pubs and restaurants, they'll be able to work again. But then you'll have the 5-day break where pubs and restaurants will not be open. At least pubs won't be open on Christmas. That's what I've read. Restaurants might be open. I take that back. But you'll have people being able to see some of their relatives, but not all of their relatives that they might want to see, depending on how big your family is, which is disappointing. But at least, some people can have a semi-normal Christmas. But what baffles me is that we're having a 5-day break during potentially the coldest part of the year. Well, if we don't get a whiff of global warming with increased temperatures. But let's presume that it's going to be very cold because it's late December. We're going to have all these people moving up and down the country, trying to meet up with their family members so that they can spend Christmas with them. That's nice, but we're making this massive deal about stopping the spread of coronavirus. Every single person who has a smartphone, you've got to use a QR reader and tell the whole world where you are. You have to put your location in this app, and then obviously certain people will have that information, and that information could easily be leaked. But whatever, that's just a personal opinion. But long story short, you have to catalog where you are at all times if you're leaving your house. If you're going to buy shoes, you have to catalog it. If you're going to a restaurant, you have to catalog it. If you're going to a store, you have to catalog it. If you're going to a pub, you have to catalog it. You have to show the whole world where you are. And it's very cattle like. It's like people have to move up and down places, but they have to be checked all the time so that they don't break the rules. Like, you got all these people living in a society of fear, but it would make sense if the rules stayed that way up until the point where the COVID-19, the pandemic, disappears. I don't care if I don't get monetized. It's not like I have enough subscribers, but I'll just say the pandemic from now on. With the pandemic, they're supposed to have a vaccine, and with this vaccine, after everybody's taken the vaccine, it should all be over. But from what I've seen from different articles and different videos, even when they make sure that everybody's getting vaccinated, we're still going to be having to wear face masks. We're still going to be having to, social distance, which, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong. I could be, an idiot. Who cares what I think? But in my personal opinion, it doesn't make any bloody sense. Like, we're having the vaccine, everybody's getting the vaccine so that no one can have COVID. No one can possibly have COVID. Depending on which vaccine everybody's universally taking, you could take a vaccine that's 90% effective up to a vaccine that's 95% effective, so that 5 to 10% of the people taking the vaccine might not, the vaccine might not work for them and they might get COVID anyway. So for those 5 to 10% of the people, there's no point taking the vaccine. However, obviously, if you look at it from a positive side, 90 to 95% of people that take the vaccine, they won't get COVID. So that's supposed to be a good thing. But it will seem meaningless if we still have to social distance and wear face masks and act as if the virus is going to affect us for the next few years. Everybody in the world just wants this over and done with. Doesn't matter if you're living in the third world, second world, third world. Hell, some countries in the second world or the supposed third world, COVID is the least of their worries. They have to deal with government corruption. They have to deal with poverty. But in these countries, COVID is nothing. COVID is the least of their problems. You've got America going into a second lockdown. We're coming out of a second lockdown, and now we're going back into a tier system. And obviously the tier system is a way for us to live and work safely while, trading and working and making money and, boosting the economy. But obviously during the Christmas break, something I forgot to mention, people are still going to be mingling, hugging each other, spreading germs. Wouldn't, like, logic, implies that COVID cases will increase, especially during the Xmas break in COVID restrictions. I don't care. Like, apparently you can't say the actual name of it because you might get demonetized, but I'm not going to get monetized anyway. And also, apart from the Christmas break, you've got this tier system, and the tier system, people are going to be working, people are going to be in close contact with people, especially people in pubs and restaurants. They have to be in close contact with people. Yes, they may be wearing facial protection, but what about their hands? Yes, you could be wearing gloves, but the virus is supposed to be like on people's clothes, on people's skin, and then people have like short shifts or long shifts, and then they have to do other things with their lives, and they can't just change their clothes every few hours. Like, people are still going to have increased cases of COVID when you loosen up the lockdown restrictions. It's inevitable. I'm not saying that we should have a longer lockdown. I'm not saying we should have no lockdown. I'm just saying that once we leave the lockdown, COVID cases are going to increase again, just like what happened in the summer. They told the whole flipping country, eat out to help out, eat out to help out, and we ate out to flipping help out. And then including young people, and then COVID cases increased, including in young people, and then they started blaming young people for COVID increasing when we just did what the government told us to do. And when people were going back into work and then COVID cases were increasing, they were blaming the country, saying this is your last warning to get rid of coronavirus. And now because of you lot, we're going to go back into a second lockdown. And everyone's like, hang on a minute, we followed your rules. Now people are, everyone's suffering from pandemic fatigue, and you've got a lot more people thinking that their basic human rights are being infringed. I understand the importance of safety, and of course, as I stressed in other videos, I do believe that this virus is real. I don't think it's fake. I don't like the fact that so many people have been infected. I don't like the fact that so many people have died. It's horrible. It's a tragedy, a travesty or a tragedy. Yes, of course. What we also have to take into account is all the people that have had to deal with mental health issues from the isolation and slash or losing their job and slash or losing family members. We have to take into account of all the small businesses that have been shut down. Some of them haven't been opened up since this virus came into being. Some of the small bit, like 2 million small business people that aren't eligible for current furlough schemes. So basically, their business has been shut down. Their main stream of income has been shut down. They're not making any money. They're not getting any financial assistance from the government. So they just sat there like sitting ducks, like waiting to declare bankruptcy. Like they have to pay their bills. They have to pay their rent. So that's another issue. Like nobody's yes, some people are thinking of these things, but it feels like most people don't think of these things. They just think of the lockdown rules and their own personal inconveniences that they have to deal with by being locked down. Yes, we all have to deal with personal inconveniences, but I'm thinking of the bigger picture here. How many people have suffered and have been at the brink of suicide or death because they got no money or they lost their job or they were stuck in isolation for so long? How many people have lost their homes? How many people have suffered in other means other than just getting the virus or getting infected or knowing someone that got infected? This crisis is multi-dimensional. It's multi-level. You're going to have a whole lot more people being financially vulnerable. They're going to be more likely to get suckered in by these online scams from these online fake gurus on social media. You're going to have more people joining these multi-level marketing companies because a friend or family member told them, look, I understand you just lost your job. You just lost your business because of a virus that you couldn't have possibly predicted. But do you look at other ways of making money? Look, I found a way to make some money. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt because I thought I could help people. And now there's going to be millions of unsuspecting morons trying to help their friends and family member by recruiting them into a multi-level marketing, quote unquote, pyramid. And then those people are going to lose even more money. So putting the world in a global, financially unstable position, personally, I feel like it's a terrible mistake. It's almost as if like there is just some decisions that just seem so dumb, where they just seem so dumb. You kind of feel like people can't be that dumb. There must be an ulterior motive. Now, again, I try not to believe in these conspiracy theories, but think about it. You got all these millionaires that make more money from this lockdown, and most people have made less money. But I digress. Back to the tier system. Personally, I feel like the tier system is a waste of time because last time we loosened lockdown regulations after 3 months of being in lockdown, after being promised that it was only going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. Last time, COVID cases increased, more people were getting infected, more people were dying, and then the COVID, from what I heard, the COVID deaths were getting just as severe and just as much as it was like in March. And then we were like, okay, fine, we'll have another lockdown. And now we're going out of this lockdown next week, and people are like, yay, let's celebrate. But what's there to celebrate? You can't, like, you're gonna be, most people in the country are going to be in tier 2 or tier 3. If you're in tier 3, your social life is messed up anyway. Some people might not even work. If you're in tier 2, you're most definitely going to work, but your social life is going to be messed up. If you're in tier 1, things might be a little bit easier for you. You can have 6 people indoors, but that's about it. Then there's going to be a Christmas break. So after, 2nd of December, 23rd of December, 3 weeks after 21 days of getting the entire country used to this new plan, they're going to just decide, oh, you know what, it's Christmas, you deserve a break. And then no one is going to want to go back into the tier system after the 5-day break, from the 27th of December. No one's going to want to revert back to that So after the Christmas break, it's going to be harder for people to adhere to the tier system rules, to the restrictions. And then after that, there's going to be an increase in COVID cases. There's going to be more deaths. And then there's going to be a third lockdown, which everyone knows is going to happen. And then it's just going to repeat itself, while they're telling everybody, you shouldn't have gone outside when we were told to go outside. And then that's when they're going to be rolling out vaccines saying, oh, you're not going to go outside, you're not going to work, you're not going to see your friends and family again unless you take the vaccine. So people worried about the ulterior motives of trying to get everybody to take a bloody vaccine. Like people that believe in these conspiracy theories, like saying, oh, Bill Gates, oh, Bill Gates is I'm not even going to repeat these conspiracy theories about Bill Gates, but all the people that are scared about taking vaccines for health reasons or because they just don't believe anything the government says anymore, they're going to have no choice but to take the vaccine. It's not about the fact that these people believe in conspiracy theories and shouldn't believe in conspiracy theories. It's about the fact that people have the right to decide whether they should be vaccinated or not. It's their human right, but that right will be taken away from them because they'll be forced to take the vaccine. Otherwise, they won't be able to work, they won't be able to do anything, they won't be able to leave the house. And people that don't get vaccinated will be villainized and demonized by the media and by society. What do you mean you didn't get vaccinated? Do you want more people to die? What do you mean you're not getting the vaccine? You don't care about other people. Everyone needs to take the vaccine because most people are sheep.